online at www.corrosion.co.nz. NZ Corrosion Services, leading the fight against corrosion. Still single appliances are better corrosion screening. You repair all of your household appliances, fryers, freezers, cooktops, grinders, washing machines, refrigerators, and dishwashers. Our mobile service covers the Taranaki Wi-Fi and overflow areas. You can also buy washing machine pre-owned appliances from our showroom at 128 George Video Clinic. Give our friendly team a call on 758 1252. Surf City Appliances, looking out for you and your appliances.
Taranaki Foodies, every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. with Elena Williams and guests. Only on 100.4 The Coast FM.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Taranaki Foodies with Area 41, the tastiest food show on the Most FM. We love to talk about food, hospitality, garden, and our beautiful Taranaki, and people who are involved in all of the above. And of course, music, because we are radio. We are recording our show live on a Facebook group page. Look for Taranaki Foodies with Area 41. Join in if you like to peek behind the scenes. We are Olina Williams and Warwick Foy, local foodies, food reviewers, educators, and broadcasters. Hello, Warwick.
Shalom.
Our videographers today are Oli Foy and Nathan Griffiths. Our guests today are Stephanie Peterson and Blair Collins from Quail's Nest Eatery. How about we listen to some music?
Let's go for it.
Hey! I'm really good at making a random noises, so be prepared.
I'll do that in the kitchen. Yeah, I'll take the plate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're still on air, which is pretty amazing. Our music is going to be SOS by Avicii. Did I pronounce it correct, Steph? Yeah.
All of this is Hockanongan.
All right.
So, we may be related. Oh, my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
You know your history?
Not so much. My grandmother was Cochrane. That was the original maiden name, Cochrane. Jane Cochrane.
So who's the college?
College is my grandfather, Percy. Percy Gone.
Don't you love this old person that boost?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, her name was Barbara.
Oh,
My brother's name was Basil.
That's
right.
Ah.
I know a few other colleges around. Jeremy College, I know one.
Oh, that's my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was a good knows
Is
that.
everything
Yeah.
okay? No, cool. You need to go to the room after the thing started because there is a. So for everyone who is listening to us, if you can't access it straight away at 4 p.m., it means that you probably have a screen that's saved on your Facebook. So go out of the Facebook, go back to our group, Taranaki Foodies Area 41, and you'll see us live. Yeah. So in the studio today with our guests and us is also my darling husband, Kerry Williams. Now you can see us live. So.
Okay. Those are Chloe's brother.
And I believe Warwick's wife is watching us as well because she's one of the fans of our show, which is nice.
Is she watching? No.
Sarah.
No. She usually watches home.
Or sometimes she listens to it on air because she tells me about it.
Yeah. You know how to fix that problem, Elena?
How?
Turn it on and off again.
Oh, it's amazing. Why doesn't it work with a car? It works on the computers and electronics, isn't it? So we are back in the studio of Taranaki Foodies and Area 41 with Olina Williams, Warwick Foy, and our guests, Stephanie Peterson and Blair Collins from Quail's Nest Eatery. So all music was chosen by Steph today, and the first one was SOS by Avicii. Sounds like a cry for help. Stephanie.
Yeah, well, usually when you share your music nights, it's like sharing the diary. But yeah, so all of the music actually picked is, I think it's pretty much all on our playlist anyway, but especially SOS, I think, reflects more of our vibe when we open for night, when we have our liquor license, because we do have that outdoor area and people will be more than welcome to come and get a wine or four and watch a sunset and things like that. So yeah, I just find our playlist at the moment quite fitting to what we offer now, but especially what we can offer later when we start doing night service.
Isn't it a high class offer when you fit your playlist with the food you serve? Isn't it amazing? So, Quail's Nest Eatery is the addition to the family business of hospitality. Stephanie, what else do you offer?
At One Bridges Hill. So we've got an eatery, and then we've also got 16 rooms that we offer as well as a conference room as well. And then some people still like, we also have some sheep running around and things like that. Yeah.
What do they do with the sheep? Cheese and share?
Some people really are quite disappointed when they can't have them. But yeah, they're just there to kind of give the whole.
No, they won't end up on the menu.
No, we do have to say that a little bit. No sheep on the menu and no pies on the menu.
Oh, wow. I love your logo. It's quite a cute little bird with a little feather coming out its head. It's nice and clean and it's new age, definitely 21st century. So you have a degree in marketing, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about where did you study?
So I studied at Messi Wellington, where I did journalism and marketing. So yeah, it was a good 3 years, and yeah, that was quite fun. Wellington was definitely a good place to do that kind of thing, being in a creative city. Yeah.
It's awesome to have someone who can understand what we're doing here. So you opened a restaurant in such a hard time. Everyone complained that it was 2020, COVID, business was down.
Yeah.
Wasn't it enough to run the hospitality like a hotel?
Yeah. Well, the process already started before lockdown happened, and so, well, we kind of didn't have. Well, we did have the choice to stop, but we kind of just thought we'll keep going that one more step, because we didn't know when that process could be picked up again. So it was kind of, if we could do it, then even little things that will make it easier if we pick up the process, and no matter how long, it could be a month, it could be 3 years. And then we just kind of kept going like that, and here we are, which is exciting.
Yeah, I love how you talk about business in terms of processes, because I can recognize fellow marketing. You describe yourself as a marketing manager of the family business and the head dishwasher. Oh my gosh. Do you have to do it? Did your parents make you doing it?
We all kind of said, me and my parents said that we'd be the dishwashers, and now that's my favourite place to be. Even when I am kind of more out the front, I get the opportunity to hide out back. I take it. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wow.
I do like that. And then you can also have kind of good chat with all the kitchen staff. It's definitely the more fun place to be. Yeah.
What is more challenging, to be a marketing manager or a dishwasher?
Being a dishwasher. Because when there are glasses or coffee cups, people aren't very happy. And also when the dishwasher stops, then yeah, everything, it comes to a halt. I remember Blair saying that it's the most important corner of the kitchen, because
Really is.
you've got to feed it, you've got to keep feeding it through, and I've learned that. Yeah.
Well, head chef is doing that, running the business, telling people what's important, where to put attention. And Blair, so how does it feel for you to be the head chef of Quail's Nest?
It feels amazing. It's been a long journey to get there. I've been in the business nearly 20 years. I've been travelling all over New Zealand, and just out of good fortune, I've ended up in the good town of New Plymouth. It's a great opportunity. I'm making the most of it, and so far, and fingers crossed, knock on wood, we continue. Customers are happy. Kitchen's running well, smoothly, and yeah, we're getting some great feedback from the locals and return visitors, and we've only been open a short week, so off to a flying start. Yes, that's great.
Amazing. What not to love? We have fresh air. We have a lot of people who are very loyal. Taranaki is extremely loyal if you are already part of the community, and you were born in Taranaki, right?
No, I'm originally from Hawke's Bay. Yes,
Lots
no,
of
it's
gardens and a lot of
yeah, somewhat similar. We don't have a nice mountain in Hawke's Bay, but yeah, we do get these odd good days of weather, and yeah, I'm enjoying Taranaki.
So, Stephanie, tell us, because it's a family business, tell us about your parents who owns the business.
Yeah, so my parents they own Crow's Nest, and they decided that that would be a good addition to One Burgess Hill, which is already existing as a family business. Yeah.
The one which is still existing here for quite a long time. I remember like 10 years ago we went to a mystery party. It was the Kira's anniversary, and we were doing something like who did it?
Oh,
Who did
fun,
the
yeah.
mystery?
Yeah.
So tell us about the history of the place. Why is there?
Yeah, so my dad and his brother, so it was originally completely family, bought the land in 2004. Then the first 9 rooms were built in 2006, with an additional 6 built in 2009. And then, yeah, since they just wanted to kind of give that comfort of home, like all the motels and New Zealand give, but in a setting where it can be relaxing and you don't really have to hustle the city completely in your living room. And but it's also further enough, it's close enough to those comforts, but it's further enough away to be somewhere else in your own little oasis. So having an eatery there a few years later made sense because now people don't have to leave if they don't want to, which a lot of people we find don't want to leave. So yeah,
Awesome.
great.
Do you also market hotel as well as the eatery?
Yeah, we haven't really gotten that far with marketing One Burgess Hill because it was already established. It's kind of done its own thing a lot of the time. So it's made my job easy because it has been such a established business in Taranaki and people do know us, which is great. But yeah, we will definitely get into that, especially with the crowd needs because now hopefully they can feed off each other as well and maybe offer some packages and things like that.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what are your customers?
What are our customers?
Yeah. Can you describe demographics or maybe
No.
groups? It's more.
Whenever people ask us this, we get a lot of locals, which is amazing, especially when we have a lot of locals here who are business owners and things like that, and they only get one day off or a couple of days off at late notice, and so it's not really worth them travelling a few hours away and something like that. So we get people like that just come up for the weekend or a night, and also, who else? Yeah, I'd say a lot of people in the North Island who want to travel that 2 hours, and basically of all ages. That's the thing that surprises me the most. Definitely a lot of young couples, a lot of old people. We also get a lot of kind of girls' weekends in groups because we have that 2 bedroom apartment, and so yeah, that's really cool, and that might be something that we can do at a school and things like that. Yeah, events for, yeah.
Talking about events, Taranaki is kind of quite a conservative place. How was how was it to return back to Taranaki after 3 years of studying, which stands for partying, doing crazy things and stuff like that?
I have found it much different. Maybe that just, yeah, shows the people I hang out with. No, it's been fun. I was definitely ready to give up some of that partying lifestyle when I came back here, but I don't feel like I'm missing out. It's nice to be home and in the nature of Taranaki. So yeah, it's nice.
I think it's a perfect time to listen to our second piece of music, which is 660 Sundown.
I'm not ready. I'm just looking at the menu.
Oh my gosh, this menu comes first. Food always comes first because we are great foodies. What did you discover, Warren?
I like the look of the deconstructed.
All right, because it's my husband in the studio. I would ask him, what is your favorite dish at the Quail Nest?
No, people have to know I should be able to do a big breakfast, only old breakfast.
He tried big breakfast, and he liked it. He liked how it was served.
Yeah, it was very nice.
All the ingredients were nice, fresh, and locally sourced. Okay, are we ready for 660? Awesome.
So we had it. My wife and I argued. It's your turn to organise something. I always
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. So, I'm going to take you to the Elvis Presley Museum.
And how,
Yes.
Oh.
And on the way back, we're going to stop at Fenton Street Collective because I know the owners of that. That's closed. It's closed until after next weekend. So, we'll stop at your place.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Probably
well,
will.
with something,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah's quite an epic person. She's a journalist. And,
Oh, okay.
really interesting personality and really interesting
Yeah.
conversation with you.
Oh.
Very interesting conversation.
Oh, no. Oh.
So I saw a friend of mine on Facebook had breakfast at Wales Nest last week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah.
Now I want to go to the Elvis Presley Museum.
Yeah. I'm intrigued about this. Yeah.
Do you not know that?
No, I didn't know about that. I didn't know we did that.
So I interviewed the owner of it on one of my other shows, which is the Live Video. He's an absolute Elvis fanatic.
Oh.
Even the car, all the clothes, everything. And he's had this museum in Melbourne for a number of years, and it's the biggest collection of Elvis stuff in New Zealand. And he's a absolute classic guy.
Oh. Oh, cool.
Dr. Ming is there because if I can do it, I'm sure I will follow that. And I just don't know how to nice stop and going to try and find parts and they can stop at the place.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's something I have a couple of friends who are huge Elvis fans about, and it's definitely something they would travel for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he's really hospitable.
Yeah.
Could be a package.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go to school in New Zealand?
Yeah, I was still fine.
No, you're the teacher.
Yeah.
At some point.
Usually, like, this is the first time I've ever known you. Probably the first time I've known
Yeah.
for ages, eh?
Oh, okay. Where were your teacher?
Sacred.
Oh,
And
oh.
Quite a variety.
never worked with
Oh, okay.
Or something, future plans.
No.
Future goals.
Like, do you know John Lambert? He might have helped you get organised to go to Mexico. Or, I don't know what he
Oh, I do know who you mean. I actually took a gap year, so I didn't have anybody from school help me, but yeah, I do know who you mean. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't have to, go and get that.
Anyway, I thought about this job.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to Taranaki Foodies with Area 41. And we are Olina Williams Workford and our guests, Stephanie Patterson and Blair Collins from Wales Nest Eatery. It was such an interesting choice of music. First of all, I listened to SOS and now it's 660 Sundown. I really like Sundown. It's very dancing music. I like to cook to the music like that. So, Blair, what is your favorite music to cook to?
Favorite music to cook to? Oh, that's a tricky one. Honestly, I don't. I really don't. Music, I know you're a radio station, but I like to be quiet. I like quiet in my kitchen because I like to just relax and get lost in what I'm doing.
Sound of
And
Silence is also music, as we know from
yes,
some songs.
every now and then, yes, we can break out in song, but no, I like a nice quiet space when I cook. That's how I relax.
You spent nearly 20 years in hospitality. How did you start?
I started in Hawke's Bay. I'm from the Hawke's Bay. I started in a kitchen called the Corn Exchange on Mariakaiko Road, under the owners Karen and Perry Laurent. And I worked there for many years with wood-fired pizza ovens, with a brilliant lunch menu, bar snacks, dinner menu. And from there, it just really grew and grew as I wanted to learn more and get better at what I did. I then moved to Havelock North and went to a place called Beaver Bar and Bistro. And then from there, I was lucky enough to work briefly at Pacifica Restaurant in Napier under Jeremy Rameka for a while and learned a hell of a lot. And from there, I just wanted to travel and went all around South Island. I've been to Wellington, now here in the Nappy. And so, yeah, it's been great.
What did you learn during your travel?
Just different flavors and different styles. It's really good to go to a new area, new suppliers, different produce, and there's always different ideas, different ways of doing things. And I try to apply that same approach to my food. I don't want to just be the same as everybody else, because then what reason have people got to come to the eatery if you do that? And that's what I enjoy doing. So I took that approach on my Caesar salad as an example. I do a deconstructed Caesar salad because I find you want to know your own salad, really. You want your own amount of dressing on it. You want your own amount of cheese. You can control the bite that you want. And I think it's important to give customers that choice. And yeah, that's what I
I
do.
agree. I see the salad with too much of any of those things is bad.
It really is. It really is. So I give people the choice. But some people don't like chicken on a Caesar. That's fine. We've got salmon on there, or you can even have grilled vegetables. Not a problem. It's really up to the customer. That's our focus with this menu, is making it for the customers. It's not about cooking for my own ego or anybody else. It's for the customers, and the feedback's been good so far.
So I've always tried to inject a bit of sport talk into this show.
Okay, all right.
So I want to know from you, as often heard when test matches on playing bar, is it Hawke's Bay, or Black Hawke's Bay?
Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay.
I feel like you should say that.
And McLean Park is a staple, yes. It's, many cricket matches there.
But when Warwick says we would like to inject some sports news, it means he wants.
I'll finish that conversation. My all-time favorite innings of the playing part, like Marshall Crowe and
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think the bug smashed it all over the place.
Oh, that's amazing. This is something that appeals to our instincts. Sports, competition, food, and basically what we're talking about, music. So, talking about ego, you mentioned that you are not cooking for your ego. So, a lot of people think that the job of a head chef is a very glamour job, because we know a lot of celebrity chefs around.
Yes.
And a lot of kids want to become chefs simply because they want to be seen, they want to have this recognition and things like that. What would you recommend?
I would recommend them to stay learning as long as they possibly can afford to. Because being a head chef, yes, you can be in the spotlight. Yes, you can do awesome radio interviews and meet some really great people. But to be a good head chef, you need to spend that initial time learning. You're not going to be a good head chef after just 5 years in the kitchen. It's going to take 10, 15, 20 years plus. Spend that time learning under the guidance of good chefs, because you're going to want to learn the right way, guys. Don't go to a kitchen where you're not going to learn. Hotels and places like that with lots going on, with functions, weddings, conferences, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's where you're going to learn. And I would recommend to people, go there and stay as a chef de partie, as a commis chef, maybe a sous, for as long as you can until you take that step. Because once you take it, you want to know that you're ready for it. It's not an easy job. That would be my advice. Yeah.
So basically, if we kind of simplify it, you think that stress and lots of tension is good for being a chef. Is that true?
It can be. You can use it to drive the kitchen. You can use it in positive ways. But at the same time, be organized. And that helps manage the stress levels. It also helps if you have something outside of work to manage stress levels. I myself like sports jiu-jitsu, and I like going to the gym. That's how I manage that side as well. But,
Wow, we come back to sports. So you do jiu-jitsu and we go to gym.
yes, there's two things I do, and it helps manage the stress. There's nothing like strangling a person to the stress. I could.
So what inspired you to create the menu for the Quail's Nest Eatery?
Well, really, it's when I took a look at Quail's Nest and the local surroundings. There's beautiful, beautiful nature around. You can view the lake from the deck there. And so I wanted to keep things simple and ingredient driven. That sort of matched the environment. Fresh, nice, bold flavors. And I wanted food that people could identify. I didn't want to do anything too super technical or stuff people wouldn't know.
So Chef Blumenthal is not your icon, right?
No. I admired their work ethic and the science that goes into his food. People like him and Grant Achatz from Millennia Restaurant, yeah, they're amazing at what they do. That's not my style, but I do appreciate the effort and techniques that go into it. They're amazing at what they do. They really are.
I would quite like to get that education of people as well. So, can you please tell us, you mentioned the sous chef, which I think is the assistant to the head chef, is that right?
Yes, it's really a second chef. Usually they're in charge in the absence of the head chef. Their main role is to support and train the staff in the kitchen, be a role model, be a leader, and sometimes discipline as well. They're really there to instruct other chefs while the head chef is tied up and what they need to be focusing on in that moment of time, because there's many moving parts in a busy kitchen, and you need to make sure everybody is on task. Otherwise, the whole thing falls apart, and you won't have happy customers. And we like to have happy customers. So,
And the chef de partie is at the line chef?
that's like a third chef. Yes, they're really there as a workhorse. I would describe it for people. They're there to do the less technical jobs of running the kitchen, making salads, and helping plate really is some of their main jobs. They're really there to prep, get things done, while the head chef is more, say, organisation. Sous chef is backing up that organisation and helping to implement those plans in the organisation. And the chef de parties, the lower level chefs, are really your workhorses in the kitchen. Commis chef. Commis chef is your entry level junior sort of chef. You've got a demi slightly below that. They're really there to begin and learn their journey and start. And it's an exciting time. That's the most exciting time in the kitchen.
All aim to progress through to being a chef, or how does that
Some do, some don't. Some start and they realise, no, this is actually a lot harder than I thought. Oh, I have to stand on my feet for 14 hours a day. Not for everybody, but some, they've got that passion, they've got that drive. You learn that early on if you've got it or not. You've got to be a bit of a rebel, maybe an outsider, you might perhaps call it, but that's what's going to get you there and get you through. It's that passion you have. If you don't have it, you're never going to make it as a chef. And from there, yes, people want to progress to being head chef. Some want to own their own places and do their own thing. Some want to just start a food truck. Some want to do a fine dining restaurant. It's really up to that individual. You hopefully work through many different kitchens on your progress, and you'll learn what you like the best. For me, it's hotels, lodges, doing cafes for work. That's my thing that I enjoy the most. I've done the fine dining. I've done bistro. I've really tried to be as well-rounded as I can to then find that niche.
But the most important role of the kitchen is the dishing, right?
It really is. I like to call it underwater ceramic technician. That's the technical term, and that's what we use. But yes, that really is. You can't survive without them. And Stephanie is a great head dishwasher.
Yeah.
Slash underwater ceramic technician.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll progress to become a chef one day.
Oh, I don't think I could handle. I think I would probably have an anxiety attack with everything.
No. You'd be fantastic.
No.
So, Stephanie, can you please tell us where did the name Quail's Nest come from?
So that came, it was my dad's idea, actually. We had a lot of quails around, just, I don't know, they like our surroundings and they seem to just keep multiplying. And then we just kind of had a lot of birds around fantails. We got some pheasants and yeah, now we feed them all and things like that. We kind of like a little bird park. So a quail's nest was the start of that whole idea. And yeah, it just kind of made sense to go with it. I wasn't thinking about that as I'm actually scared of birds. But
Wow.
yeah,
So when you have
yeah, we get there.
Okay, so head chef, the question. It's called Quail's Nest. Do you have quail?
No, you don't have quail on the menu. Yes,
What
I
is
thought
that?
about doing a quail saltimbocca, but no, we don't want to put them on the menu because they're part of our landscape.
Okay. What is the dish which is in the most demand?
At the moment, there's two real dishes. One I bought in today is a dessert. It's a caramel apple and almond tart. You can try this a little later on if you like. And the other is a croissant salmon eggs benedict. We do an eggs benedict with salmon, bacon, or your choice of vegetables if you really want to. But it seems to be the salmon. We cure it ourselves. Rock salt and brown sugar. We hot smoke it, and it's going well. I like to do a eggs benedict on a croissant because I just don't like it. What do you call them? The English muffins. I just don't like that. They're no good. I don't think they're fit for human consumption. Sorry, people from England, but no, I like the French croissant. They do it right. Buttery. We do the salmon on there. Beautiful house made. 2 poached eggs. Simple hollandaise. I do a bit of sauteed broccolini as well. Exactly. And you can't go wrong. There's good demand on that, and it's proving very popular.
What sauce do you use for Benedict?
I use the holiday sauce. It's a butter
house
and
made,
eggs.
I suppose.
House made, of course. No store bought stuff here.
Have you got your own secret recipe?
Yes and no. It's no great giant secret. It's just egg yolks, butter, a little bit of white wine vinegar, and lemon juice, salt, pepper.
Mustard?
No mustard. I don't use mustard. I keep it simple because a holiday sauce is a holiday sauce.
How,
You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
I'm really interested in holidays. It is a sauce I do like to make it. Edmund's recipe, which I
Oh,
do
okay.
recommend. It
Yeah.
does have horse mustard. But it's really hard to manage. Like you've got it, it goes solid, so you've got to keep it right. And that's okay for me because I'm cooking for 3 people.
Yes.
So how do you manage the holidays?
Well, kitchens are a naturally warm environment. There's ovens and gas going on and deep fryers, so it's naturally a warm environment. We keep it in a bottle so it's easy to pour. It'll keep warm just right up on our pass we're about to serve. We don't need to keep it in any special place. I have done them before in a different method in a siphon gun and sous vide cook the egg mixture with the egg yolks, vinegar, sort of reduction that you're adding, and sous vide cook that and pour it into a siphon gun with gas. They need to be kept in, say, sous vide water bath to keep it warm. Otherwise, when you squeeze out the siphon gun, you don't want it solid in there.
We love to hear
A bit more technical, but
we love to hear the special bit of hints. Never afraid of sharing secrets with us on the radio because we're not going to tell anyone.
no. It's
So
fine.
today, Quail's Nest Eater brought us food. And Blair, can you please tell us what did you bring?
So this is one of Stephanie's favourite desserts.
Yeah.
It's also one of mine. It's proving very popular. So I brought it on. It's homemade. We make it ourselves. It's a caramel, apple, and almond tart. So
Delicious.
we make the pastry ourselves and cook the apples with a little bit of brown sugar. Stir in some almonds in there. Put in the caramel in the base. Apples on top. Bake it off in a little flan dish. And well, you can put your own ice cream with it if you wanted. You can coconut yogurt. The choice is yours, but simplicity is best. On its own like that, heated or cold, perfect. Perfect on a summer's day. So,
Well, you just give us a recipe in 30 seconds, but I bet it takes longer to cook.
yes, it takes about 25 minutes in the oven at 180 degrees.
So is your dinner menu is extension of
Yes, it is. It's an extension of our lunch menu, but with a few more options to satisfy bigger appetites, really. I find people eat a little bit more than one. So some of our lunch menu dishes can be found on our nighttime menu. Sometimes there's entree items.
Oh, it's nice to know because as I discovered, Kiwis like big breakfasts as a night option.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen in a lot of restaurants. They do. Can I order that breakfast menu? Of course we go to do it. We're in the business of hospitality after all, and we'll do that for our customers, of course.
So today we have two tasters who are going to taste your tart and give your honest review on air. So one of them
Okay.
is a rising video star, Olive Boyd, and another is Nathan Griffith, who is the business partner in social media management business.
Okay.
Yes, or are you excluded today?
Okay, it'll be great to hear your thoughts.
Actually, looking at the websites, just to say it's a beautiful website done by a local company called
Design Garage.
Casey Smith.
They also, yeah, Casey also did our logo. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so then that moved into the venue, and I'd love to know what crudo is.
Crudo is a raw fish. So any sort of crudo, similar to a sashimi, I'm getting the freshest fish. We're going to be using Egmont Seafoods in the Taranaki, local, they're great. And so it's going to be thinly sliced, very similar to a sashimi served raw. It's really lovely. It really is.
You always use kingfish for that.
No, not always kingfish. You can use many fish. You could use a yellowfin tuna as an example, would be really nice. Trevally even works very, very nicely. Just want a firm fish. Is probably the ideal for a crudo. You wouldn't want something soft like a monkfish, for example. It wouldn't work quite the same. As long as it's firm, delicious, but fresh. Really must be fresh.
So just recommend through the menu here for the main fodder.
Yeah, fodder.
You have the quail's nest platter, the selection of pickled, marinated, and unsweetened grilled ciabatta, beef cheeks, premium high fillet steak with potato, linguine, that's very tasty, house marinated chicken, fresh local herb from fish chips, sticky ginger pork belly, beef inspected, seafood issues, so quite a varied menu.
Yes, something for everybody. We've got such a diversified clientele, and we want something for everybody that is going to come along. Good, clean flavors, interesting food, and at a competitive price point, we feel, for the Taranaki market.
And a lot of us can also be done vegetarian.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is an important point. Yes.
Don't you like how Ulrich read the menu as a poem?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So now we have some of our tasters. All of them are ready, so they're going to take turns. And first is Nathan.
This one is satisfying. I've got the fullness of the pastry there, the texture of the flesh of the fruit, the toughness of the nuts on top, and finally the powder, and it all goes really well together.
Next up, we have Ollie Boyd.
Yeah, as I said, it will work really well together because of the pastry's really nice and soft, the powder as well, and the fruits and the almonds go really well together.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing. It's quite extensive, and different people notice different things. But obviously, almonds are prominent in the check. How you played with the texture was quite noticeable because two of them picked up the texture thing. So well done. We are going to try your pastry. We're visiting.
Excellent.
So what inspires you to create dishes like that?
Well, inspired me, I think it's just been watching television shows with the different food shows that are on. There's so many these days, from MasterChef to Nigella and a microwave. That sort of inspires me to stay ahead of the curve and try things out. Because you see many different things all the time, people working hard. That's really inspiring for me. And of course, for my employers, I want to do the best job I can. For my kitchen team, we want to put something together that will be satisfying for people. Because you get a real kick out of a really busy service and happy customers. There's no better feeling for me. And yeah.
Wow. So it's perfect time to listen to our third piece, which is Gypsy by Stevie Nicks. Wow, guys, did you realize that you've been talking for 40 minutes?
No.
The time from this spent, isn't it amazing? It was really nice to hear what you said and discovering your passion. This is amazing. A lot of people, as you said, will because they just fell into the job, but obviously for you it was falling or meant to be or something like that.
business? Have they done other things around town?
Yeah, so when I was little, I was really angry at them for changing because I loved this place because I was a crazy horse girl, but they owned the lakefront on the Saddle and Sulky
Oh,
in the very early 2000s. Yeah, and then they came together with my dad's brother, and they had the idea of developing something like Monday to Sunday.
and there was nothing to disrupt that time.
No, it was just land with some scenic bushes and sheep and things like that. Yeah.
So how big is the land that
I'm not exactly know, but it's reasonable. It's probably I could probably split it up into paddocks. If anything, it could probably be about 10 or 11 paddocks that got developed. Like high risk size. Yeah. And it's back onto the gorgeous hill park, yeah.
What animals do you have except sheep and
We
quail?
have a pet pig as well, so he's loving the kitchen at the moment, getting all the food scraps and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, apart
is
from
where I am?
that. No.
No, it's a little cunny, called pickles. So,
Very good.
Well, that's something that has a name, right?
No,
No.
exactly.
we'll keep them wealthy.
Yeah, we do keep a puppy.
Yeah, that's sustainability, isn't it? You give to the animal give back in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're so lucky to live in Taranaki simply because there are so many different aspects of sustainability we can explore. The region that we can honor animals by using all its parts. For example, if we can do a lot of amazing vegetarian dishes with cattle. Do you have a lot of cattle visitors, people who don't eat cows?
We have had a few. I do a keto omelette on the menu for breakfast. Quite popular. People are very interested and invested in their health. And so, it's important that you market and try to meet that demand for those people who are health focused like that.
So that's just egg whites, not
Egg whites, we can do a whole egg omelette, and we do. But basically, keto is sort of high fats, but good fats, and low carbohydrates. It's just a lower carbohydrate option using just the egg whites.
What sort of mushrooms do you use?
We use field mushrooms and button and browns, so a combination in the kitchen. Later on, the other menus will be hoping to go and source some forest mushrooms, medleys, and oysters, and all sorts of things. But that's later on. That's
Are you
down the track.
excited to have the restaurant like full time with the alcohol and things like that?
Yes, no, it's great because eventually later on we're hoping to do some wine and menu packaging, as with some 5-course degustation menus for events and things like that. And it'd be great to maybe meet some wine suppliers in the area, do some wine matches with their food. Would be with my food, and would be my food, their wine, and that would be fantastic.
So we're about to wrap up. Do you have anything else to say before wrap up?
Other than thank you for having us, no, I think we've covered quite a lot there.
Okay, welcome back to the studio of Taranaki Foodies and Area 41 with Olivia Williams, Warren Boy, and guests Stephanie Patterson and Blair Collins from Wales Nest Eatery. Few words from our sponsor, Area 41 on Rome Street. Look no further for corporate events and groups get together. Great platters, fantastic wine list, creative cocktails, and rare desserts. Book now to avoid disappointment at the busiest time of the year. Thank you for listening to Taranaki Foodies with Area 41. Now we are going to take some selfies and post them on Instagram and Facebook. Tune in to 100.4 FM every Saturday at 4 p.m. Remember, there is a live recording of this interview online on Taranaki Foodies with Area 41 group page on Facebook. Meet you next Saturday at 4 p.m. on Airwaves. Bye-bye, my vegetarians. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Meet you in the morning. Go for breakfast in the morning.
This is your cheesy check.
Oh, I play this on the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
the tradition to play something slightly cheesy at the end of
Oh,
the show?
fair enough.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. So one last secret question.